Life can throw you curveballs at any moment. It's how you cope with those curveballs that can really make a difference in your state of mind and also in the outcome of those events. Here to talk about ways to cope with life's unexpected events is Dr. Leon Rosenberg of the Center for Emotional Fitness. So we're talking about advice for coping. There are good coping skills, there are bad coping skills, and I think we all have either experienced them or witnessed them at some point. So let's talk about bad coping skills first, Doc.
So they're called immature coping tools would be denial. So kids eating chocolate ice cream say, no, I didn't eat the chocolate. Or regression, going back to childhood behavior. Less mature coping tools are also passive-aggressive behavior, saying you're not going to do something but doing it. Or isolation of affect, somebody's crying, they say, oh, I'm not crying. While mature coping tools, from a psychological perspective, are humor and altruism. So George Vaillant in the book wrote that people with mature, healthy coping tools earn twice as much money as those with poor coping tools. He also found the two pillars of happiness were finding love and finding a way of coping that doesn't push love away. Mm-hmm. So I thought those psychoanalytic terms are really too complicated or distant for people to really get. So I wanted to come up with ways that people could really use to cope better. So like the golden rule, don't do unto others as you wouldn't have them do to you, is a good coping tool because it makes you feel not guilty, not worthless, not angry. I went to a lecture that Chip Kelly gave a talk, and he talked about the 3 coping tools. He didn't necessarily call them that, but 3 things he learned from his mother was persevere, be happy, and be grateful. So it's interesting that those coping tools are improve mental health, promote mental health.
And so what you're also trying to do is to have our audience write into you and talk about some of their coping skills and what it is that they have learned from people who they love. So tell me about this, because it's interesting. It's a little competition you're doing.
Right. So I want people to write in about lessons they've learned from mistakes they've made, lessons they've learned from things they've done right, things they learned from their dad. For instance, my dad said, if you don't succeed, try again. And my mom said, be nice to everybody. You can be anything you want to be. And if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So those 3 things. And they become mantras. They become the way that brain is hardwired with those positive things. And those things that you get from other people are lessons they've given you because they worked for them. So they're coping tools that work for your biology, for your generation, for the people with you.
Okay, so what's the best advice that you have learned that you then pass along to those who you love?
So mine is to be nice to everybody. That works for me.
Yeah,
that works for me.
It does. Yeah, and that sense of generosity.
Yeah,
I think makes a big difference.
And so that's one of those high coping tools. Altruism is a positive coping tool, so it fits along with what's a mature coping tool. So we're doing that competition. We want 10 people to write in and let us know, either call us at 866-DOC-LEON, where we do clinical research studies, or they can send us an email. It'll be on your website. 2 people will be awarded for best things they learned from their mom, best things from their dad, things they learned from mistakes they've made, things they've done right, and then 2 other people with successful coping.
And you're going to give some gift cards away.
Yeah, $25 gas gift cards to 10 different people.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
Yeah,
okay, and we could all feel emotionally fit with all of that. Thanks, Doc. Always a pleasure. Thank you. So for more on the Center for Emotional Fitness and also Doc Leon's Facebook contest, you can go to cbsphilly.com/talkphilly. We're coming right back.